so I can wake up in the morning and feel so liberating, so exciting. And after a few moments, I think about my community, I think about the status of humanity, and then I feel like crying. Crying. Why? Because there's so much pain, there's so much suffering. That itself is enough to cause you as much pain. But the tears come when you realize how simple it is to turn all of that stuff off, to take control and live. And it's the most complicated thing to get the people to see that this is the solution. This is the answer. Well, to that, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, it is no secret. We have all kinds of people in the world, all kinds. And each one got the capacity to love or hate. Each one got the capacity to do good or evil. Yet, each one can envision their own safedom, but they can't for others. And this opens the door for what we call maybe leadership or bossing. And you got those who are amongst us who just wants to be the boss. Sometimes you want to call them alpha or better. Sometimes you want to call them dictators. Sometimes you want to call them presidents. Sometimes you want to call them demons. The truth of the fact, ladies and gentlemen, is this. All kinds of things are going on in the world. We have, I often mention in a video, we have experienced the past several years some of the ugliness, not all of it, but some of the ugliest things that could happen in America. We didn't get a chance to see slavery in its purest form of beating folks and separating from their families. We didn't get a chance to experience that, where men were exploiting the women and doing anything they wanted to do, hanging folks and making people submit. We got a chance to miss that, but we missed it because some other people before us gave their lives, stood up and fought. Then maybe we didn't have to do that. We got a chance to escape that by people dying to get rid of it. But we still are in the sphere of all of that stuff that was initiated back in those days. And here we are today when we see, I just saw a video this morning, two guys in the mall arguing, teenagers, one 13 or 14, but they got into a little scuffle. Somebody called the cops. Next thing you know, these two guys are going at it. The cops come in, two cops, white cops. With the dudes that were fighting, one was white, looked white, and one was dark, looked dark. And when the cops came in, what did they do? They separated them. They told the light-skinned boy, the white boy, to sit down on the couch. Took the black, dark-skinned boy, threw him on the floor, put his knee in his back with his hands all of them, handcuffed him, and both of the cops over there, tearing them, doing their thing. And the white boy sitting on the couch. I mean, this is as blatant as it gets. It's as blatant as when they killed George Floyd. And all of the brothers that have been dying from the hands of the cops since then. All of the suffering and pain that's going through by people of color, by people who call themselves supreme, superior, who wants to run the government, who controls everything. And all this pain and suffering still is here. You find people who say, well, we want to get a voice. We want to, through your system, get a chance to get into this government, get a chance to give our voice so we can make some changes that address these concerns that we have. And you get scared. The power that be white supremacy, you get scared and say, well, what we got to do? We got to keep our power. So what do? We got to take this voice away from these people. We can't let them have a voice. Well, Donald Trump comes in and says, well, I know the thing that to do. Just start spreading lies. Spreading lies. Don't ever stop. Don't ever stop the lies. See, that's the demonic way of doing stuff. They don't have anything to offer. They have nothing to eliminate the pain. They got nothing to bring joy to the community. They don't have it, don't want it. Because that's not what it's about. Satan, the devil, is not about joy and pain. No, just about pain. The joys belong to someone else. Don't want to hear that. And yet, the glory comes for the hierarchy by using everybody else. Now, we used to hear a thing about New World Order, something like that. where they were talking about eliminating, let's say we got approximately 7.5, maybe let's say 8 billion people on Earth. They need about a 500 million. The rest of the Earth is space back. We start growing all over again, controlled by the elite. Who are the elite? Those are the ones that Satan's have said yes to Satan. Those are the ones who got all the money. And this is what tears me up, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Regardless of how bad the situation is. Now, we see now in America that it is pretty bad. And we understand, we should, how much worse it is for those people who live in places that are not half as good as America is. All of these people all across the globe, these are people that are suffering. Whether we know it or not, we are all interconnected. We all breathe the same oxygen. We all breathe oxygen. We all bleed blood. And wherein any of these two go, and brothers, I mean, these are simple. And it's over. And yet there are things that are coming amongst us that would give us our greatest joys. Coming amongst us that give us our greatest joys. And those ingredients, those resources that are outside of ourselves are out here in such an abundance. And they are stored in ways that they will exist until the Creator decides to take it away and give us something new. It's in the earth, it's on the earth, it's above the earth. Some of it is seen, some of it is unseen. But we, the people who have been touched by that same power, got what we need to be able to recognize, to have the imagination to use it in such a way that anything that we want, anything that we need, anything that we desire can be in such an abundance that none of us will ever have to suffer for anything. You don't need money. That's a tool of Satan to trick you. You don't need all this debt. You don't need to be owing to anybody except your love. You don't need to be owing to anybody except your gift. That is your love, your gift, your contribution to life. And where that isn't happening is because the government has been tripped and the Satan is running it. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying in a democracy, you say it's the greatest form of government. And maybe it is. Especially if you're doing the right stuff. If you're not doing the right stuff, it's just as crooked as any other government. You talk about all of them. You talk about socialism. You talk about communism. You talk about dictatorship. Every last one of our governments established to keep from happening what I just got through explaining to you. What I just got through explaining to you is the government of God. What I got through just explaining to you is the same thing Jesus Christ was trying to tell you, that before he would forfeit what I just got through telling you for this, which meant he could have what he wanted. But look at all the pain and suffering that's caused by a system like that. What was the message to us? That to know the truth would make us turn away from that. Why? Why do we do it anyway? Because we've been tricked? Why do we do it anyway? Because they will kill us if we stand up and resist to that degree? Well, aren't we going to die anyway? So they kill us. It's quick. We can get on out of here. We have lived, after the first day, everything else has been nothing but repetition. Everything is basically nothing but repetition. And we just got to have that repetition. Repeat. We just got to have that repeat. To the extent we allow our kids to suffer, our grandkids to suffer even more, on top of the suffering that we have to endure. No. Jesus' life says, forget that. It's the government that is resistant. People want you to think that God don't want you to have a good life. Want you to think that God is against dancing. You must be out of your mind. You think God is against dancing. And I'm not necessarily talking about only the sanctified dance. I'm talking about dancing. What kind of dance? You watch people. They will show you what dancing is. That God is against you looking good, washing your face, combing your hair, getting a haircut, getting your pants and clothes fixed up. They want you to think God is against that. God is against you having a nice car, some of the best cars. God is against you. Why? Why do you think these things got here? They came from God. The problem is not the material things. The problem is the government. The government that denies what God would have. That's what we're dealing with. And so Jesus said, no, the government of God. So, and if you just decide that you don't want to get killed, you don't want to get, and I keep saying get killed, I'm talking about getting killed for doing the good stuff. Not getting killed for out there killing folks. Not getting killed for being out there fighting for somebody else. No, I'm talking about doing the right stuff. Working and giving your life and your commitment to make life so much better for everybody else who's suffering. And let them kill you for that. Let them kill you for that. That's a good way to die. Or you can sit around and wait till you get old. They ain't going to have no hospitals for you. They're not going to have the kind of care you would need or require to try to have some decent form of life. No, they're not going to have that. You're going to be thrown away just like the trash. And then you're going to still have to go through all that pain, through all that suffering. To do what? To die. Ain't that something? Man, they sure got us making some crazy choices. But my message to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that I don't know how much longer we got in this world. I don't know how much longer this humanity is going to continue to exist. But I do know one thing. I know that there are some basic principles when you exercise them. What you plant is what you're going to get. I'm telling you, right now we've given all our authority to people who are trying to take America back to the slave days. I mean, literally going to keep on lying and taking the liars who are known to be liars and stake them in positions of power, and the other folks who know that they're liars are supposed to allow them to exercise some power when you know they're lying. Well, that's the plan. That's the part of the plan. Bring up nothing but confusion, nothing but total confusion. Then all of a sudden somebody's going to come in with a solution, going to fix it for you. And you're going to just be wanting to fix for you, so when they rob you of certain other benefits that you have in life right now, certain other rights, just to make you think you are getting some peace, bringing some unity. No. That's all a game, ladies and gentlemen. The right game is you making your decision that you're not looking for this government to fix anything. You're changing this government and allowing the government of love to enter in through your living, through your action, through the way you speak, through the things that you do. We change America, make America look like the sun, shining beautiful for everybody. Well, I was going to talk about, what else was I going to talk about? Well, oh yeah. And for those of you who don't think that people will do a lot of killing, go do some, you got your telephone now. You can just ask Google or Siri, ask them a little question. Ask them how many people have been killed just in your lifetime through wars or street violence. Ask them, just say, for instance, through the nation's history. Or just find out how put through these governments, how many people get murdered in Russia under certain forms of government, how many people get in Italy or Germany or even in America. All of these kinds of things that's constantly happening around us, ladies and gentlemen, because we are governed by Satan. Now, let me tell you one more time. Every system of government on the face of the earth is Satan. Oh, and for instance, I just used to talk about it years ago. So many years ago, I almost forgot it. I was reminded yesterday that we talk about Christianity. Christianity is not the number one religion. Christianity is not the number one religion. In fact, Christianity is basically conversation. That's what it basically is. It has some depth, but it's basically conversation. Propping up, fake, wannabe. But there is a system of government that allows a religion. And for the most part, most people of God, most people of self-awareness recognize that it is Freemasonry. Now, Freemasonry, a religion of Satan. It's like when Donald Trump came on the scene. I just called the thing Donald Trump because he was so recent and so real with his lies. He just come and tell a lie, boom, and people would believe it. Not everybody, certain people. So this was how Satan works. He just come in and tell that lie. Everything becomes alternative. He's not in a hurry because he got forever as far as Satan sees it. Because you ain't going anywhere. Got you trapped. but it's working the thing on down on you. And so when you get these kinds of things right there, you just got people saying, well, we don't know what to do. We don't know where to go. And so everything is mixed up. I think I might have lost my thought there. So since I did, I think I'll go ahead on and leave it there. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.